Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, you probably know both of these protagonists of my short that I'm going to feature in my video, and that is Piers Morgan, Weasel, and Candace Owens. Fantastic. Now, it's no secret that Piers Morgan is a jackal versus Candace Owens. Why? They tell the truth. That's the best barometer or the gauge by which you assess someone's character. So what do we have here? We have a little short from Candace Owens' channel where she says, SmackDown, Piers Morgan tried to ambush me. And Piers Morgan tries to use whatever is left out of whatever he had, which is credentials. That's all. Which is, well, I'm a graduate of this school, therefore I know what I'm talking about. You are not, therefore you're dumb. And Candace Owens smacks him with how we should smack these people. The ideas matter, not your diplomas. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you how Mr. Piers Morgan tries to embarrass Candace by telling her that he was a reporter and she has never been a reporter. Well, a fake reporter, a lying reporter, a guy who works for other people's interests, or a reporter who really reports for the good, for us, telling us the truth. That's the gauge by which a reporter is measured, not by your Harvard credentials. But I'm going to play this video for you, and I want you to see how Candace Owens nicely takes him to task. And he doesn't get it. He thinks, I have a PhD in something, therefore you don't know anything. I do. Therefore, everybody should listen to me. I've been listening to this guy called Piers Morgan for some time, and it's getting worse and worse. Just my assessment. All right. Or opinion. Ready? Let me play this one right there. And he says, here's the difference between me and you. The difference between you and her is that she tells the truth and she's one of us, and you don't tell the truth and you're one of them. Ready? Go.
She's been a reporter for many, many years. You never have. I can tell you, no journalist who's an actual reporter would read a legal filing and then do a tweet which states as fact in their own words, he's not in jail because he's a Fed CIA asset. Can you try to tell everyone? That's not reporting.
Well, Piers, tell me more. What school did you go to? Tell me more.
I went to Harlow Journalism College in Essex in England.
Well, then we better listen to you guys. You heard him. We got to trust the experts. And Piers has been a reporter, and he went to a journalistic law school. And therefore, whatever conclusions he makes are the professional and the correct ones. And you should definitely listen to Piers Morgan.
I do know the difference between reporting on a lawsuit, where you're one removed from the contents of a lawsuit, and stating something as fact. But I don't think you do, because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh, burn. You got me. You go, girlfriend.
So you heard him. He caught her on a, how do you call it, technicality. So let me tell you this. Let's say I am here and here is Piers Morgan, and we are reporting an event. And I say, Putin have caught Trump lying. All right, that's grammatically incorrect. And Piers Morgan says, Putin has not got Trump lying. Not gotten. Gotten is American English. All right? And he's a British. So I tell the truth, but I make, a grammatical error here and there. But here, he is a baboon lying, not reporting, but he's correct. He's grammatically correct. That's how these guys are arguing. So technically you're not. You tell the truth. Okay? But you don't report that way. You report the way it's in the journalistic way. Well, what do you want to hear? You want to hear the truth in a naked way, or you want to hear it diplomatically, in a weasel way? You see, this Piers Morgan stepped on my cock too many times already. And he showed who he is when has been dealing with Israel, and Candace said that I don't give a fuck about, just so you know. Why? I'm European. Bash, fuck off. You take care of your own little desert and camels over there and your goats. I don't care, man. That's you. Why would I care? Why would I care about Hamas and Israel? That's your little shit over there. I have other visions to catch. I have other visions to do, not your little shit over there. All of a sudden, every day, Israel, Hamas, Palestinians. Fuck off, buzz off, man, buzz off. But hey, no, Piers Morgan, I thought that he is like this. At one point, I had a little doubt. Maybe Piers Morgan is smart. He's smart. I'm not saying he's not. Not that smart, though. And I thought that he's going to invite these people, and he's going to say in his channel, or whatever he's got over there, he's going to say certain things. He can't say them, those things. Therefore, he's going to invite people, and he's going to ask the right questions for the right answers. But no, it was nothing like that. Watch. I don't want you to watch, but, just to make your opinion about this guy and understand who this guy is, go and watch him. When you have an Israeli something and you have a guy who's going to attack him, and you condemn, you're a bad guy. Like Piers Morgan is kind of like a Jesus Christ back to earth, telling us now is a final judgment right here. And I'm in charge. I tell you who's good and who's bad and who can talk and who cannot, because I'm going to ask you questions. And I'm going to tell everybody that you're a bad person. That's for nobody should listen to you. And Candace said, do you think that if you flaunt your little shit credentials here, we're supposed to all shut the fuck up because you're going to tell the truth automatically? My friends, I go for the truth, even if it's, illiterate truth. If it's truth, that's what I care. So I don't care if that person who tells the truth is baboon, is Piers Morgan, is the great Candace Owens, is a black person, a white person, a Jew, or whatever it might be. Midget, fat, fuck, and so on. I don't care, man. I don't care. Give me the truth. Give me liberty or give me death. All right, the same here. But Piers tells her that he is the one because didn't go to a journalist school, and a real journalist would not make that mistake. Oh my God. And she said, you got me, man. You got me. Well, just so you know, I listen to Candace Owens. I don't listen to her. I listened before. I know where she comes from. I think she's one of us. And I think Piers Morgan is one of them. That's all you need to know. But don't believe me. Don't trust me. Go and listen to this guy. Go and listen how he speaks with the good people and how he approaches the bad people like Candace Owens and other people who want to tell you the truth. He's going to attack them at their character, not at the point. No, this guy is just unbelievably weasel. But hey, it's good because we have him here as an example for others to study this guy. Whenever you say, oh, you want to see a weasel, go and watch Piers Morgan and going to see it. Like in a classroom. You just make a PowerPoint and use videos. You're going to use, the way a journalist should not behave. Piers Morgan, right there. I listen to this guy talking to many, Andrew Tate. I saw him talking to Candace a few times. He's just you can tell this guy is not a journalist. He is a tool. He's a tool. But hey, that's why he's got a business, because he's allowed to function. Candace Owens can be closed tomorrow. All right, so nevertheless, she said, okay, listen to him. Remember that imbecile? Who was that, man? Who was that who told... I can't remember who said that if you don't have... Murray. Douglas Murray, yes. He's very articulate. He speaks very well. He's homosexual. He likes that. It's okay. But I mentioned it so I prop him up because he would like that. I liked Murray until the October 7th. Then I don't know what happened to the guy. He just changed. He was like on the payroll. So he said, only experts. Why do you ask questions? Remember when he was on Joe Rogan and he got the Jewish guy that he was talking to? You can't just ask questions. You can't just ask questions. Yes, in America, we can ask questions, how many we want, and should not be prosecuted for asking questions. But Murray, by the way, Douglas Murray, he has a degree in English language. What the fuck credentials do you fucking have? I wrote books. I wrote books too. Okay, we're fighting credentials. Only the ones who have a PhD should be allowed to speak, and everybody else, yes, that's what they want us to have. To have only those guys. So Murray, who's, as I said, English language, that's his major, if I remember correctly. He doesn't have political science, even if he has it, international relations, history, nothing like that. He's very articulate regarding the Muslims and so on. He has a degree in religion, history of religion, like Mircea Eliade. No, doesn't, but he wrote a book on that. The Death of Europe, So these are the people who do not like what you say, and they try to shame you. So we're going to listen only to the guys who are acceptable, like in a college. When I went here to college in America, I was over there and I said, no, only peer-reviewed sources. What do you mean peer reviews? No. So I'm running in a circle to a already fabricated truth that you can't go and challenge at all because it's not peer-reviewed. We're not going to accept it in your work, in your thesis. Peer-reviewed, that means I'm going to go in a circle with the same idea caught in a box by some imbecile PhDs. You know what I mean? I said, no. He said, yes, if you don't use peer-reviewed, I'm going to flaunt you. You're not going to pass the class. You're not going to do this. Anyway, just so you know how things are working in American colleges, free-thinking colleges, peer-reviewed. Anyway, why is not peer-reviewed? Because it's unacceptable. It's not scientific. It's not. They didn't use the method. It is a technicality, as Mr. Piers Morgan says. I learned in life many things. One of them is this: courage is not, I don't want to say more desirable, is in less. How do you say it in English? Courage is not as found as intelligence. You find more intelligent people with knowledge than courage. And who was this who said that? Oh, it was the guy from Wikipedia, the Australian guy. He said, I realized that I was in need of people with courage, not with people smart, intelligent, knowledgeable. That's exactly what I make the point so many times before, which is, if you don't have courage, that's the primary virtue. This is the 4 cardinal virtues, ancient Greek. Fuck off, all right? The first one is courage. It's not wisdom, it's not temperance. No, it's courage. Why? Because without courage, you would not do squat. You would not have the courage to research something. You will not have courage to say, you were wrong. You will not have courage to say, I was wrong. Without courage, you are a unfinished person that might have the intelligence, might have the knowledge, but doesn't have the courage to change anything. Yeah, he's going to understand the situation, maybe, but he's not going to say, wait, you are wrong, because I'm afraid I'm not going to say it. So that courage, I think, is the precursor of everything else. Moderation, you have to have courage to be moderate, to be balanced. Anyway, this is it, man. This is a weasel who tries to make the point, you don't have my credentials, therefore you are wrong. Whomever does that to you, that means that person ran out of arguments. Therefore, he's going to give you, hey, I'm an educated person, you're not. I'm not saying I'm right or you're wrong. I'm saying I'm an educated, you're not. Therefore, I should be right and you should be wrong. Whomever starts telling you, it happened to me in my life a few times when I had a person who said, I'm an engineer. And I said, yeah, I'm a professor. Okay, so what else? Well, I'm older than you should respect me. Well, they don't talk to me like that because you embarrass yourself. Then you should know how you should respect other people. I'm young. I could say, okay, I'm a baboon, but you should not because you're older. You know better. Her husband came in the parking lot to tell me that I was a bit rude to his wife. And I said, you know what? Go and teach your wife to behave. To be a lady, if she wants respect, she has to gain respect by her behavior, not because she's older. If you're old, just so you know, my old people, when you say, hey, respect me because I'm older, no. Maybe you've been stupid for more years than me on this planet because you're older. You've been a baboon for more years than I've been. So shut the fuck up. The same. Oh, when I'm going to have an interview for a job, experience. Never use experience as, and I have experience, 20 years experience in social science as a reporter. Never use that. Why? Because that could be bad experience, not necessarily good experience. All right? Never use it because I can be, 20 years in reporting and didn't understand anything. Or maybe I was a weasel all those 20 years. That's why experience is like relative. Tell me about your experience. Piers Morgan, I can pull out your videos and I can show everybody else the experience how you were a reporter. But you tell Candace Owens because she didn't go to school. That's, oh my God, you caught her, man. You caught her. But Piers Morgan has, I think, millions of followers. Piers Morgan, if you talk with most people, they won't say, yeah, he's a British, English, blah, blah. Okay, Candace Owens, he's a conspiracy theory. Blah, blah. They forget about that she's a woman. They forget about that she's black. Those things go away all of a sudden. The white man all of a sudden is desirable. These guys are not intellectually sincere or honest. They are intellectually and as soul dishonest. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I take Candace Owens any day compared with that guy. I will not take, if someone says you take, Piers Morgan route, or you take the devil, Satan, come over, I'm with you. This guy is worse than you. I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.